What's up? My name is Rich, and as of recently, I've been attempting to do full-time print on demand. Hasn't really worked out flawlessly as of yet. I have been doing print on demand on and off for this entire year, but for the most part, we sell t-shirts online full-time, just not necessarily print on demand full-time as of yet. But in this video right here, I'm going to talk to you all about those nightmares, those horror stories, everything bad that you hear about print on demand. But before we get into it, this is not a bashing video. We're not bashing print on demand. Let me get one thing clear about these types of videos. You'll always hear the bad before you hear about the good. The bad percentage is very small compared to the success percentage. So just because I'm going through all of the bad stuff about print on demand, this does not mean that print on demand is a bad structure. It just has flaws like any other structure. This does not mean print on demand is a bad structure. It's actually a very good structure. Just like any other business or any other system, everything has flaws. So I just wanted to point that out because I know a lot of people always hear the bad stories, the horror stories first. They hear one or two bad horror stories and that's enough for them to be like, oh man, I'm not using a print on demand company just because of that. All print on demand companies go through the same thing. They're all the same. I don't care if you use Printful, Printify, Guten, Shirtly, anything. They're all the same. All right. All the flaws are going to happen. A lot of things that happen is common problems in the t-shirt industry. That's one of the problems with print on demand as well. The people who attempt to run a full print on demand business does not know anything about t-shirts at all. So that's the thing about it, first of all, or whatever products it may be. But like I said, this video right here is just to know what to expect as things come up, not a reason for you to not get started. And just to emphasize on that, I hear like things like this a lot. Bad things happen is a reason for them to not start. No, that's not how you should look at these types of videos. It's more so for it's just to know what to expect and to find a solution for it. For example, not even like print on demand, like say Amazon, people are like, oh man, I hear they suspend people. I hear you can get dinged on your performance. Listen, these are things for you to expect, not reasons for you to not get started. So I just wanted to make that clear and make sure you're looking at this the right way and not the wrong way. I feel like this disclaimer should be in all of these types of horror story type videos because people always use them as excuses to not get started. That's not what it is. So excuse the long intro, but the first thing we're going to talk about obviously is delays. So this has been a common issue as of lately. Obviously, this is a series of things that has to do with everything that's going on. So some of the reasons for the delays as of recently is like if some of the printing companies have to close down, which are in certain states that consider them to be non-essential. And then some of the t-shirt suppliers has even shut down at some point. So let's say a t-shirt company such as Gildan had to stop manufacturing some of the colors, the non-popular colors, and prioritize like black, whites, and grays, because not only do they have less employees to work with, but they have to focus on the items that have demand. And I've noticed this not with just t-shirts, like say, I know Tostitos chip company, they're not putting out the thin and crispy chips right now. They're only putting out the traditional and whatever their popular ones are. And one of the main factors of that is because there's less employees working and they have to focus on the products that get them the most sales. That way they can get those products out the door. So that's one of the reasons. And then you also have to think about the printing companies themselves. If somebody was to test positive of COVID-19, they had to shut down, disinfect, and then they had to reorganize their workspace. They had to start working from 6 feet apart, reorganize the whole entire system itself, right? So a lot of these delays, unfortunately, is like out of our control. And also at the end of this video, we're going to talk about some solutions to all of these problems. So those are some of the reasons for delays. This isn't just necessarily for this period of time. You know, just like if a color is missing from the distributor, it might take a few days for them to get it in. And they're not going to just order one shirt color. They're going to have to order all of their shirts at once. So it could take even more business days for them to process that to come into their facility before they even get to your order. So even without the social distancing thing, just like the t-shirt issues from suppliers, that could be an issue. And things of that nature. So that could be a reason for your delays just on typical periods. So another thing is the quality print of the t-shirt, right? Or whatever it may be, a mug, tumbler, and all of that. So here's the way I see it. Let's say if I was running a print on demand company, I had like 10 direct to garment printers. I needed to hire employees. Majority of the time that people get hired, they're learning as they go, like about the entire t-shirt printing itself. They come in with most of the time no knowledge of t-shirt printing or very minimal. And even whenever you do have knowledge of direct to garment printing, it even takes an experienced person in the t-shirt industry at least like a good month before they know all the kinks, all the ins and outs on how to fix a print if something was to go wrong, and how to produce that perfect print each and every single time. So you got to think, if a new employee comes in, it's going to take them probably at least like 1 to 2 months for them to actually process that learning curve. And the issue with that is, so when they come in day 1, day 2, and they get their training, day 3, you really want them to get to work. You don't want them training for 2 months with you and just have paid training for 2 months. That's one of the reasons why I see there may be a print quality issue. And you also got to think, you might have some employees who don't necessarily care about the print. They just want to get it on the shirt. So even if it's not solid, there's going to be a few bad employees in the bunch who just put it in the poly bag anyways and ship it on out so they can get their job done and get their paycheck. That's just kind of one of the ways I see it, and can be an issue, but this is going to be common across all fields of whatever industry it is. There's just going to be a few bad employees in a bunch who just there for the paycheck. And not only that, the learning curve on printing a t-shirt can be a lot more than just the typical job. So for my eyes, I see that's the reason of the print quality issue. Another thing that pretty much correlates with that is mixing up t-shirts, right? So this is something that's like a hole in the system somewhere, somehow. Whenever they're scanning t-shirts, getting it printed, something gets mixed up and your customer ends up getting the wrong shirt. I've had this happen multiple times, but all of the print on demand companies that I've used will submit a reprint or they will issue a refund. So that is good news. But the bad news about that is that processing time has to start all the way over. You're not going to be able to get them that replacement that first business day. It's going to take 7 to 10 business days, depending on the period of time and how good that company is in shape at that point in time. So those are some of the bad things about print on demand. But like I said, don't let fear hold you back. This does not mean don't get started. All right. So here's a few solutions to all of that. And this is because I had knowledge of the manufacturing process first before I even got into print on demand. It kind of sucks for me to see people running 6-7 figure print on demand businesses and don't even know how those items are produced. So if you really want to learn to run your business and treat it like a business, you really got to know what it takes to actually run that business. So some solutions is you can print it in-house. The only thing with that is right now I'm only doing vinyl, so I can't really do full color prints. I've done direct to garment. Direct to garment is kind of a hassle if you're just a 1-person team. I've been thinking about getting a toner printer, but the print quality isn't the best with a toner printer, but you can get full color prints. So the thing about taking it in-house is whenever you have those replacements, those reprints, those issues with mix-ups, as soon as somebody says there's an issue, you can get a replacement sent to them immediately because you have access to it and you can control that. And this is also a solution to the shipping delays and as well as the print quality. But however, if you don't want to take it in-house, one thing you can do is start building a relationship with your local direct-to-garment printers. You're always going to be able to find a guy like me who's doing it in-house locally, or you can actually find a local company who's doing it on a larger scale, but however, it's still local to you. What you want to do is build a relationship with them, let them know what you're doing, get 1-2 orders in with them at least once or twice a week so they know that you're consistent. And when things come tumbling down like how it did for the past couple of weeks, you can reach out to them and be like, hey, things not shaping up so well, and you can give them 10 orders a day and all of a sudden 20 orders a day, and you can start ramping it up. Eventually, if you even wanted to, if they see how well you're selling and giving them business, you can use your local direct-to-garment printer for better prices. And not only that, you can have more control of your speed, your production quality, and all of that good stuff, right? So the only issue with that is that print on demand is awesome because of the actual integration. It's a real system that can take place without you having to be hands-on. However, there are flaws that happen. So that's an issue. And as far as you working with your local direct-to-garment printer, make sure you build up that relationship with them. Don't just call them out of the blue, not with no introduction, no anything, and say, hey man, I'm behind 100, 200 orders. They're going to hang up on you because they're going to be like, who the heck is this? Or they're going to be desperate and they're going to try and help you. But the thing about that is they don't know your system. They don't know exactly what you're doing. It's not exactly like a screen print job where you're like, hey, print me out 200 of these shirts, 10 on this size, 10 on that size, etc. This is going to be a whole bunch of one-off jobs, different colors and different sizes and all of that. So you really got to build up that relationship with your local direct-to-garment printer in case things like this happen. So I really hope this helps you out, because if you're looking to build a business in print on demand, and if your orders are going up and cancellation and refunds are going up, you need to learn how to control your business. Take control of your business, learn and understand what print on demand is actually doing, learn the manufacturing side, and make sure you understand and are able to operate your business like you're supposed to. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Rich. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.